One of the things that I came across was this really cool serving bowl, and I loved that it had this like great texture on it. So I'm going to spray paint it with 2 coats of white spray paint. So once that is completely dry, then I'm gonna get out a color called Elephant by Waverly. And I'm also gonna grab one of my large foam brushes. Now I'm gonna put a little bit of that paint on the foam brush, not a lot because I want this to be a light layer. And then I'm just going to brush lightly that elephant paint onto my textured piece. Now I'm trying to just do a top layer so that I really get that texture popping out. So you could always go back and add more paint. So start lightly and then you can always add more. I think this is a great decorative bowl that you could put as a centerpiece or out on your countertop. Now, if you're looking for bathroom storage ideas at Dollar Tree, make sure you go to the glass jar section because these are some of the best things you can get to organize your bathroom. I got the largest jars that I could find. I bought them in a set of 3. Sets of 3 just look great. So I always try to buy things in sets of 3 if I can. Next, I'm going to spray paint the lids with 2 coats of a white spray paint. Then I came in with some Rub and Buff and put that around the edges. Next, I'm going to come in with some gold handles that I already had on hand. These were ones that I was using in another project that I bought on Amazon. If I can find them, I will link them for you guys in the description box. And I just used some E6000 to attach those to the top of the lids. Make sure you're using E6000 or construction style adhesive glue for this because other glues are just not going to hold these in place. And that's all there is to this. These are great for all those little items that you have out in your bathroom. So I needed a canvas. Now at Dollar Tree, their biggest canvas is I think 11 by 14, but it's not a thick one. So I wanted one that was a little bit bigger. A place that I have found that you can get a really good deal is at Five Below. You can get a pack of 2 canvases that are 16 by 20, which I think is a great deal for $5. So I'm gonna use a 16 by 20 canvas. I'm also going to be using the twine that you can pick up in the Crafter's Square. Now I believe for this project, I ended up using 9 rolls of it. You could also get a larger roll off of Amazon, but I wanted to show you how you could do it with Dollar Tree items. Now, this project, I have to say, took me a while to do, but it's super simple. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start by gluing your twine to the back of your canvas. Then you're just going to start wrapping it in one direction. You wanna make sure that your twine is really close together so you can't see the white behind it. Once you're happy with how far you've made it, just hot glue it to the back and cut off the excess. From there, you're gonna switch directions. So if you were horizontal, now you wanna add your twine vertically. And again, you wanna come back in and do it opposite every time. You want to kind of move around where you're putting it so that it's not always in the same location. What that's going to do, it's going to create kind of like a fun overlapping pattern. You'll just continue adding twine until you get the entire piece covered. This looks great in a grouping of wall art, or I think it can definitely stand on its own. But the cost of this wall art piece was around $12. For this next project, I had a vision in mind, but I wasn't sure it was going to totally work out. So I had my husband help me with the measurements just because he's really good at that. So it ended up working out. So I'm really excited to show this one to you. So what you're gonna need for this project are 2 of the Dollar Tree cutting boards. So we marked both of the boards at 5.5 inches. Then we traced the edge of the cutting board because we were going to be cutting it out. But we were only going to be cutting out half of the cutting board. So we marked up 3.5 inches. Now here's where we got a little tripped up. We had to figure out which sides we were going to cut so that they sandwiched together. So we kind of drew a little line to know which side to cut. Next, we used a saw to cut out the notches on both of the cutting boards. Now that the hard part was out of the way, all we had to do was sandwich the 2 together to create a perfect little book holder. This is great to set out as a coffee book holder, or you could also use it when displaying a cookbook. And I'm really excited how this turned out for only $2. Now, we all love the planters that they have at Dollar Tree, and I'm always trying to think of new ways that I can dress them up a little bit. So I had this basket weave gray planter that I just think is adorable. I love it so much. I'm gonna start by wrapping some twine around it 3 times. Once I wrap it around 3 times, I'm going to tie it in place. Now I wanted to add some beads to the front of it. I had some gray beads as well as like some smaller, like natural colored beads. Now to lace the beads on, I find that it's easier if I wrap a little bit of tape at the bottom of my twine, and it just, I don't know, I feel like it strings the beads on there so much easier. So I'm gonna alternate my beads, adding 6 beads on each of my twine pieces. Then I will tie the twine together. Now I wanted to create a little tassel, so I'm going to take the twine and I'm just going to wrap it around my hands until I have as much as I think it'll look nice and full. I'll take that piece and I'm going to tie it to the bottom of where I had the beads, and I'll just tie that in a double knot. Next, I'm going to wrap it to make it look like a tassel. So I'm going to hot glue some twine to the back of the piece, kind of at the top, and I'll just wrap it around and then hot glue it to the back, cutting off any excess. Now to make it look like a tassel, I'll cut it at the bottom and then I'm gonna trim the tassel so all of the pieces are the same size. You can dress this up with any plant that you have around your house, but it just gives it a little something extra. So for this DIY, you're going to need 3 candle snuffers from Dollar Tree. You're also gonna need 3 succulents. And then I also grabbed 3 wood boards in different sizes from Lowe's. Now, if you have a pair of wire cutters, that's gonna work the best for this DIY. You're gonna cut your candle snuffer right at that base where the handle is attached to it. Next, I'm going to hot glue my succulents into my candle snuffers. Now I added quite a bit of hot glue to the base of these and then just put the succulents in. Now, once I got to this point, I realized that I didn't like the base of the candle snuffers, so I grabbed some of my faux leather and I hot glued it to the back. I wrapped it around twice and then cut off the excess and just hot glued that in place. I felt like this did a good job of kind of finishing off that bottom piece. And then I positioned my succulents where I wanted to hot glue them down. And then from there, all I had to do was hot glue them to the wood pieces. Now to hang this on the wall, you could always put hangers on there. I've been loving using command strips on the back, so you just grab a couple of command strips. I'll link to the ones I use down in the description box, and then you can just place them on the wall. And here's how this wall art piece turned out. Hey guys, I'm Liz and you're watching my second DIY channel where I post daily DIY videos. You may be familiar with my main channel, Liz Fenwick DIY, but I'm glad that you found me over here on my second channel. Make sure that you're subscribed so you just get notified every day when I post our daily DIY video.